This is the outside of the 2018 Caravelair Antares 496. If we come to the gas locker, first of all, you will see that we have plenty of room in here for 2 gas bottles. The regulator itself just sits here, and then the hose comes off the regulator and screws into the propane bottle and is tightened with a gas spanner. Bottle on and off on the top. Do make sure that the bottle is isolated for travel. Also in here we have the corner steady winding handle and the spare wheel. If I just drop down here, you'll be able to see one of the wind points for the front corner steadies. As we come round, we then have water into the caravan. To remove the submersible, lift up and then pull towards you. And then when securing in, make sure this is back down, or otherwise under pressure it will then pop back out again. We then have the battery locker just here. So we have the leisure battery just here, and then mains hook up just here. We then have both vents for the fridge. We don't need to do anything with these, just make sure nothing's obstructing them and try to avoid spraying too much water at them when washing the caravan. As we move further along, we then come to the flue for the Truma boiler. Again, we don't really need to do anything with this. There's no covers or anything that need to come off on these particular flues. Just again, make sure nothing's obstructing it. We then have the toilet just here. So at the top here we have the header tank fill for the flush water. So you can pop your pink solution in here if you wish, and then top the rest up with fresh water. It's advisable not to travel with this full, or otherwise it will slosh around and make a mess inside the caravan. So to drain it down for travel and for winterization, we just need to come to where the cassette is located. And you'll see just up here that there's a little bung. So if I now just remove the cassette by just lifting up and sliding towards me, we can then either get a little bucket and just sit it here, and then pull the bung out to drain down the header tank. With the cassette itself, before use, remove this cap and add your toilet chemical with a small amount of water. This is also where it empties from. Just remember that when pouring it away, to just hold the button in just here to release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. Turning this is a good way of giving the cassette a good clean. If you need to gain access to the float mechanism due to the fact that some debris may have wrapped itself around it, just turn this part here and then just remove. All of these cassettes are now on wheels with pull-up handles. As we now come round to the rear, you can see both rear corner steadies. All water that goes down the plug holes comes out at this point just here. You can see I've situated the waste container just underneath it. As we then come round, we have access underneath the bunk bed at the back. We then have the weight plate just here. External barbecue point. So if you are going to use this, you do need to get yourself a barbecue adapter. They are basically usually a little brass spear about this big. You attach the hose of the barbecue to one end with a Jubilee clip, and then the other end plugs in where my finger is here and will lock into place. You can then turn the gas on and off. To remove, just push the collar towards the caravan and it will then pop back out. Beside this, we then have the external shower point. So plugs in just here. And then once you're plugged in, we then flick the switch just here. And then we will go under pressure. And then flick the switch back off again. Same as the barbecue point, just push the collar in and then it will release itself. Beside that, we then have an external 3-pin socket. We also have a Continental 12 volt and an external aerial point.